Okay, so the next shoe is actually a boot, and I love this boot. And when this boot first came to my attention, I was obsessively reading about them on blogs that I followed, watching videos about them. I thought they were just so stylish. I thought they were edgy, and everybody always talked about how comfortable they were, so it was just ticking off all the boxes. But my hesitance was, one, it was pretty spendy, and I didn't know if I would wear them enough to justify the cost. And the second thing was that nowhere where I lived sold them, so I had never seen them in person. I wanted to try them on for size, see if I actually liked the way they look on my feet, but I didn't have the opportunity to, so it didn't really occur to me that I would ever own these shoes, but I was definitely interested in trying them on if I happened to be in a city that had them. But then I started getting a little bit more obsessive over them, and I kept Nordstrom brought them into their inventory. And so I headed down to one of the Nordstroms where I live and asked if they had it, and none of the Nordstroms in my area carried them. But they looked them up in the color that I wanted and in my size, and there was one left in the company. And so I bought it sight unseen to be delivered to Nordstrom. So first let me show you what it is. So this is the boot that I'm talking about. This is the Chloe Susanna boot. I love this boot. So it's the black with the silver hardware. And actually, the one that I wanted was the black with the gold hardware. So when I pulled it out of the box, I just kind of looked at it and I said, this isn't the one that I wanted. I wanted the one with the gold hardware. And then there was this flurry of people calling around to find the black with the gold hardware because they thought that that's what was being sent. And then in the meantime, I put these on and was walking around the store and falling very deeply in love with them. And they came back and let me know that they didn't have the black with the gold hardware in my size. But I said, that's okay. I've already fallen in love with them, so I'll take them. And I did, and I love them. I've had these for probably close to a year, and I have worn them to death. You can see the sole is wearing here in the front, and the heel is wearing here in the back. And I'm going to take them to a shoesmith or cobbler to have them work that out for me, because I want to wear these until the leather is falling apart around my feet. I love these so much. Definitely worth the hunt. Okay, so let's talk about bags. It's the Mansour Gavriel. Ooh, focus. Yes, the Mansour Gavriel large bucket bag with the Flamma. It's stuffed right now. The Flamma, or the red interior. No surprise, red being my favorite color. And when this bag came to my attention, I wanted it so badly. And I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, I thought it was beautiful. I love the simplicity of its design, but I'd never desired a bucket bag before. But I think I did admittedly fall into the hype. And so I hunted everywhere. I called stockists, I looked at stockist lists and called, I don't know how many stores, probably 10 different stores, to see if I could hunt it down. I sent a couple of emails to Mansour Gavriel, and they basically sent me we appreciate your question or your enthusiasm. The release will happen on whatever the date was. I don't even know if they gave me the date. I don't think they did. So I looked at their Facebook page and saw the announcement of the release date, which is I think it's always on a Tuesday, and I didn't know what time it was going to be, so I stayed awake till midnight the day of. So clock struck midnight, I went onto their site, they weren't on sale, so then I went to sleep. I woke up they're based in New York, I believe. I don't know. I think they're based in New York. I don't think they're in Italy. Doesn't matter. I woke up I'm on the left coast. So I woke up at, I think, 5 o'clock my time, which would be 8 o'clock their time, checked again, hadn't launched. Then I napped a little, or I slept a little bit. I had that day off, so I slept a little bit, woke up a couple of hours or like an hour later, checked again, still hadn't launched. And then I don't know what happened, but I fell asleep again on my couch. And then I woke up, I don't even know what time. I sprang up out of the chair and I was like, oh my gosh. And I looked and it was, they had launched. Like I clicked in, all of a sudden, I clicked on the bag, or I clicked on the site. I was allowed into the site. I clicked on the bag and put it into my cart, and it allowed me to do it. And so I just jumped and I nabbed it. This was after, I mean, had been searching for this bag for probably 3 months hard before they relaunched it. And I got it and I loved it, and I do use it. I use it quite a bit, but not as often as, you know, when I think about, was it worth the amount of effort it took to get this bag? I don't know that it did, especially since I have another bucket bag that I got before I got this bag, that I just absolutely love, and I use that joint all the time. This one I use a fair amount, but not, I don't think, nearly as often as justify the amount of trouble I went into to get it. So I love it. I'm not going to get rid of it. I still use it, but I don't know if I would say it was worth the hunt. The second bag I got when it was really being hyped, and it's actually enjoying a second or a resurgence of the hype, but I got it during the first, or when it first became popular, and it is this bag. It is the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. I just have a little twilly on it because this is the only piece of monogram that I have that has the Vachetta leather, and I wasn't sure how I felt about the patina. When I got this bag, it was during the first release, before the initial rumors that it was being discontinued, and people were losing their minds for it, including myself. I definitely got sucked into the hype. It was probably a particularly stressful time for me. So I got sucked into the hype. It was something to kind of like an obsession to kind of take my mind off of stressors. And this bag is fantastic. I think it is worth the hype, and I think it was worth the hunt. I, at one point, wrote down all of the Louis Vuitton stores, and I can't remember. I feel like I tried to call each of the, like the big stores that I thought would have it, like Vegas and LA or something like that. I don't know if I'm thinking about this or if I'm thinking about something else where I made a list of the stores and I kept calling. Eventually, I just called the main Louis Vuitton line, as was recommended to do on the website, because on the website it said contact what do they say? Contact customer service, something like that. So I contacted them, and you know, everywhere that I'd gone, or everybody had wait lists. That's right, everybody had wait lists, and I was just like, mother sucker, how do I get this bag? And so I called them, and she laughed, and she said, well, you know, it's been really hard, it's been really popular, but I'll go ahead and look for you. So she puts me on hold, and she comes back and she says, you will not believe that I found the bag. And I was like, I'll take it. And that was basically the extent of the conversation. And so I had it shipped to me from, I don't even remember where it came from. And this thing is awesome. It's pretty rainy right now, and so I haven't been able to wear it much of late, but once the sun comes out and stays out reliably, I'm gonna wear this all the time. I just don't want the water spots. Even though this is covered with a scarf, it's not waterproof, and so it could still get the Vachetta leather wet. But I love this bag. It has a zipper pocket in the back that I don't really use, and then let me open it. I'm not going to do a full review on it because it's all over the interwebs, but it's this accordion design that you get stuffed right now, clearly, and there's the strap, but that you can just stuff this to the gills, and I do. I'm not precious with my bags in that way, and so this has proven to be very user-friendly and very utilitarian. It's really durable, I have found. I don't like how much I worry about the leather, and I think I'm becoming less precious with it, and I'll probably eventually take this off so that this can patina at the same rate that this little piece of Vachetta can. But as far as worrying about, you know, spills and scratches and things, I don't have to worry at all. So I would say that this absolutely was worth the hype. I love this thing. So that is it. I hope that you enjoyed this random video about items that I hunted down like a dog because I wanted them so desperately. I certainly enjoyed talking about it. Please subscribe down below and hit the like button and help me reach my goal of 100 subscribers by the end of the year. If I made it before the end of the year, all the better. It would mean a lot to me. It's nighttime here, so I hope you have a good rest of your evening or whenever you're watching this. And I hope that you have a good rest of your week. And take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace-yins.